Hello and welcome to Talking Around the Library Tree. I'm Luke, an MA History student and Library Student Ambassador.
And I'm Edward, an English Literature and Creative Writing third year and also a Student Ambassador. We're talking today about our role as Student Ambassadors because this month's theme for our sort of Sharing Stories project from our 2025 Library Vision is student partnerships. And we wanted to tell you a little bit about what it's like to be an ambassador at Lancaster University and how it's kind of enriched our university experience and professional development. Luke, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've really enjoyed the student ambassador role. In terms of, one of the big things I've found enriching about the role has been just my knowledge of the library resources themselves. Yeah. So when I started my history degree, I was engaging with the library a bit, but I didn't really know about what materials we had outside of the physical collection.
Yep.
And then once I started my ambassador role, I started to discover all the other different materials we've got on offer, such as, we've got the special collections.
Yeah, so we've got a big room in the basement with, all sorts of archive material and some very useful staff down there that it's definitely worth talking to them. And I wouldn't have known about that if I wasn't an ambassador.
Absolutely. We've got the railway collection. I'm a big fan of railways, so
I love a railway.
I was very excited about that. We've got loads of online resources as well, like we pay for access to Gale primary sources and other online databases, which are super useful, whether you're a history student or any other student, really useful.
And I really enjoyed finding out about Box of Broadcasts as well. Very great for watching documentaries, but also TV, kind of outside of university, which I really liked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's been very good for me for kind of speaking to big groups. You talk to so many people as an ambassador, and you just get to know lots of different people and what they do at the university, but also talking to members of the public as well, which I always find really exciting during our open days.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's amazing as well, the variety of people you get in.
Yeah.
Or for all different sorts of subjects. I love when I get to chat with a history student as well, or, a potential history student. Yeah. It's a great sort of chatting about the sort of research they'd be interested in doing. And it's great chatting with the parents as well and, getting a feel for what they're after and being able to point them in the right direction for, different resources and basically show what the uni's got to offer.
Yeah, you're sort of a first point of call almost. You might be the first person that they actually talk to on a big open day, and I think that's really important to kind of have that personal connection and get to know kind of what their worries are and kind of respond to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess what sort of projects have you been involved in then, Edward?
So something that I've actually been part of is I was part of the Welcome Week planning group. So I got to see all of kind of the intense work that goes into what we sometimes call Freshers Week from the library perspective, and making sure that our students know what all of the resources are. That was quite interesting to see kind of how it all worked behind the scenes, and I got to host a zine workshop as part of that. And I produced some posts for social media as well. So we've also been producing posts for kind of this project, the Vision 2025, just making sure that everyone is aware of everything that the library's been up to. That's been really exciting for me.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I worked for the Library Festival.
Oh, yeah.
That was brilliant. We had live music, various events, and that was a great time. I did some social media posts. I helped with the actual setting up of the events as well. And that was just great. Again, it was set up around the tree.
Yeah.
And it was great. We had both members of staff, the public, students all come in to watch these events. We had some live poetry performed as well.
Yeah.
It was a really nice atmosphere. I'm great for getting experience in that sort of entertainment sort of, and how to set up those sorts of events.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed actually. We do a colouring in cafe every Wednesday night where students can come and they can get a free hot chocolate, coffee or tea from us and do a little bit of colouring in to just kind of unwind. I have absolutely loved doing that because you get to talk to so many students that you never normally get to talk to. So we get a lot of medicine students turning up for that, which is really exciting for me because, you know, being a literature student, it's not often that I run into kind of like science students and especially med students because they're so busy all the time. So it's always really nice to kind of hear what everyone's up to and have that sort of solidarity of hearing about their essays and being like, oh, I've got this essay due, but we're just chilling now and, you know, having a nice drink together. It's good fun.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I, as a history student as well, I had a great time. Last year we were reorganising some of the special collections and we were reorganising some old Victorian and Edwardian lantern slides and they needed cataloguing. And I had a great time with that. Old slides from local history, actually, from the Northwests from over 100 years ago. So that was a really exciting project.
Yeah. What skills have you found most useful as an ambassador?
Yeah, so I find just being enthusiastic about the role is a really great skill. You know, you're helping people with their research, you're helping people decide whether they want to come to this university or not. And that's just great, you know, if you can engage with them and sharing some of the excitement for, you know, these exciting projects and people deciding their future, that's, you know, that's really great. You know, in terms of being sort of open and friendly as well, I think that's just a great skill and attitude to have.
Absolutely.
Particularly when you're chatting with sort of young potential students doing their A-levels, just the ability to connect with them and understand, you know, what they're after and just try and help them find what they're after. You know, I find that really rewarding and a really useful skill to develop.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think it's always quite interesting as well when we get older students in too. So I was recently helping a postgraduate student who really wanted a particular book. So I was kind of showing him how we'd go about requesting that book for him and talking about kind of how you actually navigate the library shelves. Something you don't realise when you're just a student is we have quite a strange category system for our shelves. We use the Bliss categorisation system. So it's been quite interesting for me as an ambassador to learn more about that kind of librarianship side of things and being able to share that with other people and kind of help them to understand why our library works the way that it does. So I think for me, it's a lot about knowledge and kind of increasing my knowledge of the library and the kinds of things that we have. And I mean, you turn a corner in the library and you discover something that you never knew was there before. And I think being an ambassador really kind of opens you up to those experiences.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I guess, do you have any reflections on how both the student and the library relationship and how that partnership has worked and what you've gotten out of that at all?
Yeah, so I think something that has become very clear to me is that the library is very kind of dedicated to having that open and kind of constant dialogue with its students. So, you know, if you see something where you think it could be improved, they're always, you know, open to that kind of feedback and that suggestion. And they're very friendly and approachable. I think that kind of goes both ways. You've got to be open-minded and in turn, so is the library. You know, you kind of have that reciprocal relationship with each other when it comes to student partnerships.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, one of the things I felt was really showed the good relationship between the students and the library was my careers taster session.
Yeah.
So I went on a three-day career taster course. And I was introduced to all different roles within the library. You know, I was introduced both to resource provision, open access, all the various roles, you know, library service advisors. And actually I found that a career in information sciences was really appealing to me. And actually I've started a role as a library services advisor myself. So I think that's a sign of the good relationship between the two and how it works is, you know, the library took me as a student ambassador and then introduced me into the wider world of information sciences. And I have to say it's really kindled an interest in it.
I think the thing is, if you're enthusiastic, then the library does everything that they can to kind of help you with your career development, and kind of improving your skills and sort of looking at what kind of roles are best suited to you in the future, which I think is really important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Well, that's been from us, our library student ambassadors, and we hope you have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye.